Welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to have a look at branching and merging changes using Git. We have a few options with the types of merges we can do on Git branches, but the two main ones we will be having a look at is the fast forward merge and the three-way merge. Let's begin with the simplest of merges, which is the fast forward merge. So we have been working on the main branch. We have our commits. We can see 3 commits in front of us. And so let's say we are asked to work on a bug. We have a bug to work on, so we need to fix a bug. So what do we do for this? We create a dedicated branch to work on the bug. Let's call this branch bug fix. So we create this dedicated branch. This way we don't mess around on our main production code on our main branch. So we now have our isolated environment, our isolated branch, which is our bug fix branch. Now that we have made a few commits on the bug fix branch and finished working on the bug, we want to merge our changes back to the main branch. So we want this single timeline again. But if you notice, since we worked on the bug fix branch and made a few commits, we can see 3 commits, nothing has changed on the main branch. The same commits still exist on the main branch, and the latest commit is still the same commit, which we used as a base when we created the bug fix branch. So as there has been no other changes on the main branch since we made these changes on the bug fix branch, we may as well add these latest commits we did for our bug fix branch to the end of our main branch and consolidate it to a single timeline that way. And for this, a new commit is not even required. We have all the latest commits consolidated into a single timeline now. And what else the fast forward merge does, so it's consolidated them into a single timeline. Git just moves the tip pointer to the latest commit, which becomes the head, and any new commits will follow on from the last commit. And this is known as a fast forward merge. So we can see there's been no new commit created to merge these two branches back together again. It just moved the tip of the main branch forward to the end of the bug fix branch and consolidated it back into a single timeline. The next type of merge we will have a look at is a three-way merge. So looking at the three-way merge, we are working on our main production code, which is our main branch, and we have some commits on them, so we have 3 commits. Then we are asked to work on a new dedicated feature. So we create a dedicated environment for this, a dedicated branch called the new feature branch. That way we can work on our new feature without messing around with our main production code. Now we have created our new feature branch and we have been working on our new feature branch and we have 4 commits. And let's say our new feature was ready, so we wanted to merge it back into the main production code. However, since we have been creating these commits for our new feature, there has also been some commits made to our main production code as well. So there has been some changes to our main production code. So since the common base, we have changes. So now we have changes on the main production code and we have changes on the new feature branch as well. So we need to combine these changes and consolidate it all back together again. We need to merge all this back together again. And this is where we do a three-way merge. So the three-way merge being the latest commit on the main branch, the latest commit on the new feature branch, which results in a new commit based on all of the changes that have occurred. And that's why it's known as the three-way merge. And this becomes the new head as well. So this is it. This is the three-way merge. And as a result, it created a new commit, which consolidated all of the changes together. And of course, any new commits will follow on from the latest commit. And all the latest changes are back in the main branch because that's what we did for the three-way merge. And the way we did this, and by the way, we are going to have a look at this next, is we went into the main branch and then we specified to merge the new feature changes with the main branch changes. So let's have a look at these changes next. And we are also going to have a look at how to resolve conflicts. So that is, let's say some code has changed on the same line on 2 different branches of the same document. So we will have a look at that as well. So I am back on my Git environment. The first thing I can do is a Git status. So there is nothing to commit working tree clean. I can do a Git log. Just to have a look at some logs. It looks like I created a new text file. And I can also do a Git branch. And we can see we're on the main branch here. And on the right hand side, I've got my physical files. So if I do a dir from here, I can verify these are the files I have in my physical directory. So I'm going to get rid of these files just so everything is a bit easier to see. And I will copy my file 5 and I will call it main production code. And here's my file 5. Type something in here. Main production code for my main branch. Let's save the file. Let's close the file. And then let's do a git add. Period. and let's commit the changes. So that's all done, and it gives us a summary of what we have deleted and what we have created, including changes within the files as well. And we can do a git log -- one line just to verify the logs. So we can see here, that's my latest change, my latest commit. Now, the way we create a new branch, and the way we do that is, so git switch -c for create, let's call it new feature. And it does say switch to a new branch, new feature, and we can see it here, new feature. So we are on the new feature branch. Maybe I can do a git branch from here just to verify that. And we can see this by the star. So it indicates what branch we are on, but we can see the two branches as well, new feature and main. So now our head is pointing to new feature branch. And now what I can do is maybe create a new file, call it new feature. And if we edit my file 5, and now if we make changes to my file 5, let's specify in here code for my new feature. So this is the main file we are focusing on, the changes in here. I'm not sure why I've done these two. I've just done them so you can see how new files are added and removed as well. But the main focal point is my file 5. And we can do the usual git add period, git commit -m, changes to new feature branch. And of course we can do git status or a git log just to see our latest commit. Now, to migrate the changes back into the main branch, we need to be in the main branch. So you need to be in the branch which you want to merge your changes into. So if we want the changes from the new feature branch to be merged into the main branch, we need to be in the main branch. So for this, we switch back into the main branch, and it tells us there switched to main branch main. Actually, before we do a merge, because this will be a fast forward merge, we've not made any changes to the main branch since we updated the new feature branch. So this will be a fast forward merge. It just works and it moves the pointer to the end of the new feature commit. So we want to make some more commits to the main branch, because then we have changes made to the main branch whilst changes were made to the new feature branch. So both branches had changes made. And by the way, because we are back on the main branch, we can see the new feature text file has gone. I created a new feature code file, but that's disappeared. So if I go to my file 5, I can also see my code in here has disappeared because I put something in here as well about the new feature. And over here I can put some more production code to main branch. And I'll save and close the file. Again, you can do a git branch to verify which branch you're in. And we are back on main. It says it here anyway on the right hand side. And now to merge the changes in new feature branch with the main branch, we just do a git merge new feature. And of course, I forgot to do a git commit, git add and a git commit. So it's reminding me, git add period, git commit -m. By the way, if you scroll up and down, it remembers the commands you have specified. I've gone 3 up and press enter again. And it opens up our notepad with the default merge message. That's fine for me. I will cross this off and it continues with the merge. So it even tells you here, hint, waiting for your editor to close the file. And then it gives us a summary of the merge made by the ORT strategy. And then it tells us what merges have been completed. So if I have a look now, I can see my main production code and I can see my new feature code. I can see both of them. So I guess it was a good thing to add each of these files in each of the branches. So we can see how it's all merged together now. And if we open up my file 5, we can see the 2 lines of code for the main branch, but we can also see it's merged the code for my new feature branch as well. So all the code has been merged. There are no conflicts because these 2 lines, or 3 lines, do not conflict with this line here. But if we did cross this off and we did create a conflict, first let's have a look at which branch we're in. And we can do a git log -one line, just have a look at our commits again. So let's keep the new feature branch, but let's create a new conflict in my file 5.txt. So let's do, this line is for my production code, and let's save that, cross it off, git add and git commit. Now let's go into git new feature with the git switch command. And let's change my file 5 in here. And I'm going to type, this line is reserved for my new feature. So we can see there's going to be a conflict because in the main branch, I specified something about my production code. But in the new feature branch, I've reserved it for my new feature. So you can imagine this is code for my new feature. and in the main branch it's my main production code. So there's a conflict. I've saved the file. Let's commit the changes. Now let's do a git merge. We will merge the changes of new feature into the changes of the main branch, and we can see here it says conflict content merge conflict in my file 5.txt. And of course here it says automatic merge failed, fix conflicts and then commit the result. So it's asking me to fix it. This is a manual fix. You sometimes have to manually fix the change. So whose changes do you want? Whose changes do you want to keep? So if we go back into my file 5, I have never tested this on Notepad myself, but we can see where the head is pointing at, and it says this line is for my production code. And then we can see the code from my new feature branch. This line is reserved for my new feature. So what we can do is if I delete this, so I've deleted it all, let's save the file, cross it off. Or actually, let's just say we do not want to remove the line, we just want to make changes. So code for my new feature, and this line is for my production code. So let's have them both in there. And then this line is reserved for my new feature. Let's remove all the markers. So let's pretend this is what my code looks like. So I've got all my code in there now. I've got my new feature code in there, and I've got my production code in there, and I've got my new feature code in there again. Let's pretend this is what my actual code will look like. So I have manually fixed the issues. This is how I want my code to look like once it's all been merged. So I can just save the file, and so I can cross this off now. And what I can do instead is a git add period. I can do a git status from here just to have a look at where we are. And we can see it says all conflicts fixed, but you are still merging. And it shows us the file, of course, my file 5.txt has been modified. So I'll do a git commit, which will complete the merge. Now, if we do a git status again, we can see there's nothing to commit. Working tree clean, git branch. I'm in my main branch. My new feature branch still exists, but I can delete that if I wanted to. But if I go into my file 5.txt, we can see we have our code the way we wanted it. And I can do a git log as well, just to verify the changes. So here's the latest commit we have done. So now we have looked at the fast forward merge and the three-way merge, the true merge. So just to reflect, a fast forward merge happens when the branch being merged can be simply moved forward because there are no additional commits on the target branch. And this happens if the target branch has not diverged from the current branch. So there was no more commits on the main branch. And you would do this if you wanted to incorporate changes from one branch without creating a merge commit. Now with the three-way merge, this occurs when the branches have diverged. So you've got the main branch and the new feature branch, and they both had changes to them. And you would use this when both branches have diverged and you want to preserve the history of both. Now there's a squash merge. A squash merge takes all the changes from a branch and it squashes them into a single commit and merges it into a target branch. So the individual commits from the source branch are not retained in the target branch. And you would use this when you want a cleaner history by combining all the changes into a single commit. Now there's another one, it's called rebase and merge. Instead of a traditional merge, this approach rewrites the commit history to the source branch to appear as though changes were made directly on top of the target branch. So with this, it avoids a merge commit and creates a linear history, but you have to be careful with this. This could be drastic as well, it could cause issues. And you would use this when you want a clean linear commit history and you are comfortable with rewriting the history. Then there's the no fast forward merge, the no fast forward option. With this, Git creates a merge commit even if a fast forward merge is possible. Because with a fast forward merge, don't forget you don't actually create a commit. It just moves the tip header. And this is useful for preserving the context of a feature branch in the history. And you would use this one if you wanted to explicitly record the existence of a feature branch, even if fast forward merge was possible. Then there is a conflict merge, when two branches have changes that overlap, just like we have just seen in this video. And with this, Git will pause the merge and prompt the user to manually resolve the conflict, just like it asked us to resolve the conflict. And of course, you'd use this when the branches being merged have conflicting changes that need to be resolved manually. And that's it for this video. That's a high-level overview of branching and merging changes between branches using Git.